Hey y'all, my name is Evan Listier and welcome to the first video of my vlog. So because this is the first video, I want to give you guys a rundown of what I hope to accomplish with this. I want to talk to you guys about a variety of topics and my view, my perspective, and my experiences with those topics. These topics will include such things as life, or relationships, or mental illness, other topics that I come up with in the future, or even topics that I'll ask you guys to comment on, one you would like to hear me talk about, and see if it can't help you to relate to the people in your life or express your feelings to them. That is my true hope for this. I wish to help you guys relate to the people in your life, express your feelings to those people in life, and maybe achieve true happiness. Now, when I talk about happiness, I'm not talking about, okay, it's another day. I'm talking about you got that dream job where you go in every day and you never work a day in your life because you love what you do. Or that one relationship where you've always struggled to understand them and you've had these big fights and you're just at wit's end, and then suddenly you're able to relate to them and express your feelings to them, and it's perfect and it's what you wanted it to be. Or even to sit in that dream car that you've always wanted to have because, hey, it's your dream car. You'd love to see yourself driving one. That's my true hope for this, is to help you guys broaden your horizons, broaden your awakening. Now, if you come in and that's not what happens, that's great. You know, everybody has to go their own path. You have to do what's best for you. I'm just hoping to bring to you my perspective and my experience to help you even a little bit. Now that that's all out of the way, I also want to say that I will use quotes and I will use songs that have helped me and relate to different topics, that I've been able to use these songs and these quotes to truly express what I'm feeling. I won't take credit for them. I will say the name of the song, who wrote it, if I know that information, who sang it. And I will say a quote and even quote who said it. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is life. I know it's a very weird first topic to talk about, but it's also the one topic that everybody asks about and that everybody struggles with the most. The truth is that life is unfair. There's no denying it. Now, the variety of the unfairness is it can just be one day. And that is the one thing you should hope to achieve, is one day of unhappiness out of 364 days of happiness. I know it's unrealistic. You will be unhappy once, twice, three times a month, maybe once a week. But the true happiness should be you're unhappy one day out of a year. That's not possible, maybe, but that's still what I'm going to achieve for. Life is unfair. It can be one day, it can be 1 week. Maybe it's a month. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's a multitude of years, which I've had happen to me. That being said, with life being unfair, I feel that life gives you one thing, and life always works for one thing. One thing life gives you, and one thing it works for. The one thing that I feel life gives you is the chance to live. That's all I feel that life owes you. Everything else from there on out is your choice. When I say something like that, I don't mean, okay, that you can just let life pass you by. You can. You can lay down, let life pass you by, and at the end of your life, you're going to sit here and you're going to wonder, what did I do for myself that made me truly happy? And that's when you will get hit with all those regrets because you just laid down and let life pass you by. Or you can accept that life is unfair and work to make it better. Work to make it better for you. Work to make it better for your loved ones. Work to make it better in general. That's what I hope to truly achieve. A better life for myself, for the ones I love. That is what I hope to help you guys achieve. A better life for you and for the ones you love. That is what I mean by life gives you the chance to live. It is not owing you anything else. It has given you the chance to make something of yourself. It is your choice whether or not to do that. Now that we've talked about the one thing that life gives you, let's talk about the one thing that life works for: balance. I feel that life must achieve balance. And I'm not talking birth to death. Honestly, that one's kind of a very hard topic to talk about because we have a page in the newspapers that tells us of the obits, and we're always on the media and we always hear about so many deaths and destruction and chaos, and we hear about, okay, someone famous was born, somebody's famous parents just had a kid, and yay, congratulations, you just had a kid. I'm happy for you, I am. But compare how many times you hear about the people in the obits. You get a dozen people a day. We don't hear about a dozen births a day. You have to go online just to get a number for that. And that doesn't seem very fair. We should really have a birth section of the newspaper. Okay, so and so had a baby boy born on what day. That's all we need. And then we could truly compare births to deaths. But with the COVID-19 pandemic that we are currently still suffering, and the new strains that are coming out in different parts of the world, there seem to be a lot more deaths than births. So that's one topic that we can't use to compare balance for life. I'm talking about light and dark, good and evil, love and hate. Good and evil. We always hear about the good people in life: Benjamin Franklin, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Alexander Graham Bell. These people did what they love and brought a better understanding or brought an easier way of life to us. Let's take Alexander Graham Bell. He created the first telephone. We now have, off of his one design, a cell phone that we all have on us because this guy created a telephone. That's amazing. He has made life a lot easier for us because he created something. He didn't do it for the money. He didn't do it for the fame. He did it because he was trying to make a better life for himself and for those he loves. And it has made life easier for people years after his death. That's an amazing thing. But because we also have great people like that, we have to look at the terrible people. Vlad the Impaler, Adolf Hitler, Genghis Khan. These people were what we would consider evil, but that's not exactly true. They were doing what they thought was right for them and their people and the people they love. It wasn't right to the rest of us because we have a sense of a moral code now, but they did what they thought was right for their people and for those they love. So can we really call them evil? In a moral standpoint, yes. Let's take Adolf Hitler. He killed Jews. He put them in concentration camps. He even took people that weren't Jews or people that assisted the Jews and put them in concentration camps or killed them. And he brought the entire world into a war. But did he do it for just to kill, or did he do it for a purpose? We don't know. He did what he thought was right for his people, even if it was wrong by the rest of the moral code. That being said, we also have in everyday life good and evil. And I'm not talking good people and evil people. Yeah, we have serial killers and we have serial rapists and other we have burglary and other terrible things. But we also have good things, people that do good. Someone that helps an old lady cross the street. We don't hear about that. But we hear about the guy that's firebombing um, ambulance bays in the state of Connecticut. We hear about the cop that's going on trial, finally, for the killing of George Floyd. We hear about all the bad, but we don't hear about good. For example, there was a guy that lost his house in Hurricane Katrina. It was him and his mom. The guy's like 20, young 20s. He lost his house. He lost everything. So his mom and him moved. I don't remember where, so I want to say Alabama. I'm going to just say Alabama, even if it's not, but it'll help you guys. He knew that he had to find a job or something. Otherwise, him and his mama would be out of the house. He was doing what he had to do for his mama, for himself, because he loves his mama. He found a place, this is back in 2018, so there weren't masks back then, or you had to do all the virtual. He found a place that was hiring, a moving company. He went in, he filled out the paperwork, and he was lucky enough to get a job on the spot. And he got hired. Happy with the news, he drove home to tell his mom the good news, I found a job. Couple miles from his house, his car dies. Couple blocks, couple miles, something like that. His car dies. It's gone, totaled. It would cost him $2,000 to repair this. He is 30 seconds away from tapping a button on his phone. He has his finger hovering over the call button to call his boss and say to his boss, I can't work, I'm sorry, my car just died. The place he had to be at was 20 miles away from his house. So this guy stopped. He knew that there was toughness. He was on wit's end. And he said, if I don't do this, Mama and I lose the house. What will happen to Mama? I can't do that to Mama. So he went in, he told his mom this good news. He set an alarm for midnight. He had to start work at 7 a.m. He set an alarm for midnight. He got up, got dressed, he started walking. One foot in front of the other. I've walked 13 miles in 3.5 hours in snow. I can completely understand what this guy was feeling when he was done. He walked 10 miles and his legs were killing him. He just focused on getting one foot in front of the other. And a cop happened to notice him and was like, I'm at the end of my shift. I don't want to deal with anything, but this guy's kind of acting sketchy. So he starts following the kid, and about 14 miles, so another 4 miles after the cop noticed him, the cop finally stops him. And I can't stop, I'm sorry, I'll talk to you, I'll answer your questions, but I can't stop, I gotta get to work. The cop's astounded. That was not an answer he was expecting. So he's, what are you talking about? And the guy told him, yesterday I got hired at a moving company, and my car died. And if I don't show up for work, I can't fix my car. I need the money to fix my car, or I need the money to help my mom and I stay in our house. We just lost everything in Hurricane Katrina. The cop was floored. He was honestly not expecting any of this. So he opened the back door, he said, get in. He didn't handcuff the guy, he said, get in, I'll take you where you need to go. Guy got in, silence. The guy is in pain. His legs are killing him. He had to focus on just getting one foot in front of the other. He couldn't do it. It was so painful, but he had to. So they finally get to this place, which was 20 miles from where this guy lives. And the cop opens the door, lets him out, walks up to the door and knocks on the door and says to the lady, "Excuse me, ma'am, this guy says he's working for a moving company that is supposed to help you guys pack up and move." And she's, "Yes, we are moving. This is the company." So he's, "Okay, well, I got the verification for that. I want to tell you something." He walked. His car died yesterday, and this guy was going to walk 20 miles from his house to your house to help you pack and to do his job. She was astounded by the determination. She went after the move, after everything was settled, she went online on social media and shared this guy's story. And he got viral because of it. She made a GoFundMe page for $2,000 for this guy just to fix his car. The craziest thing happened. The CEO of the company this guy worked for heard about him. He lived in Tennessee. He got into a brand new Ford Escape, drove from Tennessee to Alabama, found where this guy lived, knocked on the door, and said, "I want to say I am the CEO of the company that just hired you, and I want to say I am astounded at your determination, and I wish we had more people like that. I understand that your car is dead and you're looking to get money to repair it so that you can get to work." And he said, "Yes, sir." And the guy, the CEO of this company, had him turn his hand out, reached over and dropped the keys to his own Ford Escape, his brand new Ford Escape, in this guy's hands and said, "There you go." That GoFundMe page made over 10 times what was asked for because of this kid's determination. That's an amazing story of the good things that can happen in life when we do have so many bad things. That is what I'm talking about. For every bad deed that must happen, a good deed will happen too. That is balance. That is true balance. For good to happen, evil must happen. But good will happen, even if it's late. Let's talk about me, so you guys can understand why I'm the way I am. In the year 2009, I was a senior in high school. I'd been with a girl for 2 years. By the time I graduated high school, I was an angry individual, and I let outside forces mess up my relationship, and I lost what was an amazing woman. I gladly would have married this girl, and I would have been happy with her. But because I let outside forces corrupt me, I lost her. Only a couple months after that, I was involved in a traumatic experience which gave me PTSD. I had gotten a girl pregnant, and her abusive, over-controlling ex killed her. It was not a planned pregnancy, and she died in my arms, and I lost my firstborn child because of it. You can actually see right here parts of the tattoo that I have as a constant reminder of where I come from, of what I've lost and what I have gained from that. I lost my high school sweetheart. I met a girl that I got along with famously, and I just clicked with her, and we ended up doing the deed, and she got pregnant. And if you're under the age of 18, please don't go ask your parents what doing the deed means. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay? She had been disowned by her parents because they didn't like the guy that she was with. But instead of staying around and helping her like parents should have, they just dumped her on him and let her go. She finally split with him because he was abusive, because he was controlling, but she had nowhere to go. She was terrified of being homeless. It was August. It was July, August. She could have done it, but she didn't want to because she didn't know where she would be come wintertime, and winter was fast approaching. So she stayed with him against everything. I told her she should move. I would try and find someplace for her. I did. I couldn't find anything. And one day she was taking a shower after she told me that she was pregnant, which she called me up. She said, "I got news for you. I'm pregnant. It's yours." I woke up a couple minutes later on the ground, her laughing on the phone. I don't remember the fall. I remember waking up on the ground though. So laugh at me. I put that in so people would laugh. But then this guy, she's taking a shower a week after she told me she's pregnant. Snuck in while she's taking a shower, went through her phone, went out, found the messages between us because she's not with him. She shouldn't have to hide them. Went out, got drunk, came back, and beat her to the point that she died of internal bleeding in my arms that night. That's why I got this tattoo. Instead of facing my problems like I should have, I ran away. I ran away from a loving family and friends to a girl online who I thought I loved, and it didn't work. She was engaged, which I didn't know at the time, otherwise I would not have gone up there. But things didn't work, and I kept running from it. 2009, I moved. 2010, I moved. 2012, I moved. I would stay in some place for 4 months at a time and then move back to my home state with my family. 4 months at a time. I spent a year total away from my family in my entire life. And I didn't confront my feelings until my mom's dad, my grandpa, passed away in 2014. 9 days before my birthday, I lost a guy I loved very much. He taught me a lot about life. He taught me that no matter what, family comes first, and his daughter, my mom, has been able to emulate that for me even now. So it's an amazing thing that I have such a loving family that I do. But it took losing my mom's dad for me to confront my feelings. And in the beginning of 2015, I went to group therapy. And from group therapy, I got into one-on-one therapy. From group therapy to one-on-one therapy, it was diagnosed and confirmed that I have post-traumatic stress disorder. From there, they took me to an agency, a rehabilitation agency, which helps to integrate those with mental illness back into society and find them a way to make a living so that whatever mental illness they have doesn't stop them from living. And I'd always sworn off being in the food industry. I didn't want to work fast food. Well, this agency had a company at an entertainment venue that were looking for workers for their concession stands, food industry. I got into the food industry. They have a 6-week on-training program with a job coach in that company where 6 weeks you have a job coach that's there to make sure you have the understanding of everything and make sure that you don't need help before they go. My boss for the food industry, the entertainment venue, not the job coach or the company, the actual boss of the concessions, went directly to HR for this entertainment venue asked if they could hire me on the spot from this company. To this day, it is a running joke that I am the fastest hire this company has ever had. They had a woman come in later. She got in all cocky and she said, "What's the quickest someone's been hired from this company? I'll beat them by a week." And they turned around, looked at her, and said 2 weeks, and she went, "Come again?" She was not expecting that. And she didn't beat the record, but hey, credit for trying. I stayed with that job from December 2015 until October 2020. 5 years. I was still at that entertainment venue when COVID-19 hit and everything shut down. And in 2017, I went to my boss and I said to her, "Is there a way I can be a bartender? I would love to try it out." One night bartending, I had so much fun. I spent over $500 in a 2-week program to get my certified bartender license. And December 8th of 2017, I was a certified bartender. I've been a bartender since. I bartended all the time before COVID-19 hit for that entertainment venue. Unfortunately, the entertainment venue did have to close down because of COVID-19, so I was unable to keep my job there. Honestly, I'm taking that experience and hopefully moving to a better place to understand what I can do with that. But the whole point in me telling you that 2009 was a rough year for me and me becoming a bartender was to tell you that life is unfair, but it is a choice on you whether you lay down and let life pass you by. Me running from my problems was me laying down and letting life pass me by. Me actually seeking the help I needed in the group therapy and singular therapy, all the way to becoming a bartender, is me taking that opportunity that life has given me to live and making something of myself. You can make something of yourself, or you can let life pass you by. The choice is yours. And with that said, the first video is done. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe, click the bell for notifications if you're on YouTube, and I'll see you next week for another video where we will have another interesting topic. My name is Evan Listier. Have a good night.